The winners keep piling up in the NASCAR Cup Series. If you win, you pretty much are in. There are only 5 races left in the regular season, and 4 slots are still open. Will they all be filled by drivers that get in on points, or will we have a 13th winner? That is yet to be determined. But Alexis, Brad, let's kind of analyze these folks that are in those spots right now. In the 16th spot, in the last transfer spot, is Ross Chastain. A couple of weeks ago, he was nearly 60 points to the good. He's now 27. Bubba Wallace is minus 27. That would seem like, Brad, the 2 logical places that things might flip. There may be a couple of more that could get in or fall back out.
Yeah, but Ross is going to win Indy, so no, in all seriousness. Look, I mean, he lost a lot of points, to Bubba Wallace. He lost nearly 30 points in that exchange right there, just him having a solo spin at Pocono. And look, here's the thing about Chastain. You go back and look at his season. In terms of average finish this year, he's right up there. He's around 7th in terms of average finish. But point standings-wise, he's been dropping down, and I'm talking real point standings, not the playoffs points. And the reason why is they're not qualifying well. Chastain will go out there and lead practice and then start 21st. That's happened a lot of times this year. He started 19th on Sunday at Pocono, and not that he led practice either. They weren't that great. There's something missing in the speed of that race car right now. The biggest thing that's hurting him, however, is what happens on Saturday, because they are not collecting any stage points, and that has made a huge difference in where they are this year.
Alexis, I get a feeling that Ross Chastain's a guy that needs emotional reassurance, and he's not getting that this year on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, going off of what Brad just said, I think that's very important, because when you qualify as bad, or not as bad, but in the back, you don't get those stage points in the first stage. You struggle to pass cars. Second stage, he obviously had an incident yesterday at Pocono. I think the fact that he has yet to visit Victory Lane, to your point, Doug, I mean, that's the confidence that I think he's missing. You get to Victory Lane, you have one victory, you gain confidence, you get better. He hasn't had that this season, and because he's starting to say, okay, well, we're only 5 races away from the playoffs. Here I am on the cut line, and I don't have any wins. That robs confidence from you. The qualifying effort, I'm sure, robs confidence from him on any given Sunday. So those things, in terms of emotional reassurance, I think is probably hampering him just a little bit.
And Chastain said his problems at Pocono are all on him.
I'm just worried about why I spun out. Race car driver in the Cup Series, I shouldn't be doing that. So you don't see us do that too often. When I do it myself, I'm as surprised as everybody else.
Is he like a golfer that's got to make a shot, Brad? Is he pushing?
Maybe so. You remember last year, he was really strong, kind of kept that momentum from 2022 up until he had that Darlington incident with Kyle Larson. And Cliff Daniels had that famous quote on the in-car radio, because that's where he likes to send a lot of public messages about, that's 3 races, Eric Warden, talking about Eric Warren for Chevy. And that clipped the wings of Ross Chastain for a while, until they won at Nashville Superspeedway. And then still, they came back. But I don't feel like he got his mojo back until he won that Phoenix race, truthfully. But then this year, again, poor qualifying efforts have led to results and a lack of points that they need right now.
Chris Buescher's in pretty good shape, Alexis. He's plus 44 to the good, sitting there in the 15th slot. Does he need to worry, or do they have to keep their guard up?
I think I would not be feeling super secure at plus 44. I don't even know, honestly, in the way that things go this day and age, and the fact that any new winner from outside of the playoffs could push this cut line down so far, that I would be feeling secure if I was anybody but Martin Truex Jr. right now. Martin Truex Jr. is up plus 137. I feel like that would be a huge, huge swing for him to end up on the outside looking in after 5 races. But Ty Gibbs plus 67, Chris Buescher plus 44, Ross Chastain plus 27. I don't know. I'm not feeling safe if I'm any one of those guys.
All right, Brad, let's go below the cut line. Bubba Wallace made up a lot of ground at Pocono. He had a decent finish, got up near the top 10. Good day for Bubba Wallace. But at minus 27, he has to have some help. He needs some other teams to have bad days, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know that Chastain's going to spin out twice in a row. And we've got Indy this weekend. Points alone, just points alone, not, in the absence of a unique winner from someone from behind them. I only feel personally that Bubba and Chastain are the only two in play today. Points alone. I don't know that Chase Briscoe is going to make up those points. I mean, think about this. For Chase Briscoe, minus 75 points. That's a race and a half almost. I mean, the maximum you can earn is 60 points. The maximum you can gain over someone is 59. And I know mathematically it's not quite a race and a half, but realistically, you're going to tell me someone who is like outside of the top 16 is going to make up a race and a half worth of points on someone in 5 races? I don't think that's possible.
So if I'm hearing you right, you really think it is a battle between Chastain and Bubba Wallace for that last spot?
Right
on
now.
Points.
That's
on
it.
Points.
On points alone. That's it.
Alexis, your thought on that?
Like I said before, I feel like it's so easy to have somebody potentially win from outside the cut line to push that. Yes, as we stand right now, with the way the points look right now, it does definitely look like the biggest two competitors that are going to have to keep an eye on each other every single weekend on the racetrack is Ross Chastain and Bubba Wallace. But when you have races coming up, I mean, just think about how these guys are feeling heading into Indy week. I know we're going to talk more about Indy. We're going to have Michael Young on the call, but this car has never run on the oval at Indy. If you didn't run good at Pocono, there's a good chance you might not run great at Indy. So there's
true.
Yeah, there's a lot of probably apprehension from some folks heading into this weekend at Indy.
Could we see Blaney win back-to-back?
Potentially, sure.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine for Roger Penske if Blaney were to win at the Brickyard? He had Joseph Newgarden win back-to-back 500s this year. He had all 3 cars. He had 3 wins this past weekend.
He swept the weekend.
Swept the weekend, 2 wins in IndyCar Series at Iowa plus Ryan Blaney. If RP's out there kissing the bricks with Ryan Blaney on Sunday, that's going to be a major accomplishment.
Certainly will be. Look forward to it. It's less than a week away now. I'm so geeked about being on the oval back at Indy.